Hey, welcome everyone to Let's Play Zork Nemesis. I'm the Mysterious JG, and when last you joined me, I pulled up the wrong save slot. We were getting ready to go to the place that we were just well and deeply and truly into there, which is a fiery place. You want to check out fiery place? That would be Saturn, Ignis, home of whatever those symbols mean. At this point, I've now off-screened through the entire game, so no more having to cut myself off because I hit a point in the recording where I haven't off-screened through to make sure that I know how to do it properly and not waste a lot of time. I've also hit upon a very sad thing I'm going to tell you about in advance. We've had technical issues in this game because of the fact that my computer's clock speed is obviously far, far higher than was intended to run this game, and you're not going to be able to buy a computer now whose clock speed is slow enough to run this game exactly as it was meant to go. And by and large, this has simply meant panning problems. Screen spins super fast when you try to pan around. But there are two, maybe there's three, maybe there's one we already bypassed, but there's really two big places in the game where this is going to screw things up because you need to react to it's hard to describe, but the game perspective is moving around and you need to react, and it's not like a CGI movie that comes up as a separate from the in-game action, because it's something where they don't treat it the same way. Those movies where you just watch and you can't do anything, there's two different points where there's sort of a movie plays and you have to click during the movie, or rather, in one case, you have to not click. The game briefly near the end becomes don't shoot the puppy. There is a moment where the game tries to trick you into taking an action that will be a game over. And there's another point which will be coming up much sooner where I got completely stuck because, well, we'll get there soon enough, but there's a rope in a bell tower, and you're supposed to ring the rope and hold it, and it brings you up into the air and then drops you back down. And you have to click on, basically it's like an Indiana Jones moment, you ride up this rope and then you swing and jump into a passageway instead of just coming back down. And in the game it's fairly obvious what's going on. You can see, you have this first person perspective zooming up, and then you can see there's some place where you can go, and you come back down, and it's not like you get killed if you fail to click and get off the rope. You just land back where you started. So generally, I think most people, they ride up once, they ride back down, and they're like, oh, I guess we were supposed to click there. And you click, ride up, and you click, and you're fine. Clock speed is so fast on this that it's boom, like it just, you blink and it's over. You can't even tell that there's something we're supposed to be reacting to. It never actually comes off of the stop point of this screen. So you'll see that when it comes. Later, there's something truly heartbreaking for me. My absolute favorite sequence in this entire game is one where the game tries to trick you into clicking. And in fact, I played this years ago with a friend of mine, and the first time through, we didn't. We were very suspicious. We could tell that there was something wrong. Why was the game urging you to do this? We'll get to it later, and we didn't. And we found out that it was a trap, and the story continued. But we had to go back and find out what happened if you did click, because it was just really funny. The scene in which the game tries to trick you into doing this was very amusing to me. It's my favorite part of the entire game, and we're not going to be able to experience it, because the way the game works, it's going to clock through, and it's going to register that I didn't click and wasn't fooled, and the game will continue on as it's meant to. But I won't be able to show you the most hilarious death in the game. Rather, I can probably do what I'm going to have to do on the rope puzzle, which is I actually went out and downloaded a program called CPU Killer that will slow down the clock speed on my computer temporarily. It's annoying the way it works because you have to buy the thing. It's like a free copy, evaluation copy, but the way it works is that they limit it. It will only run for 20 minutes, and it's also very glitchy. The newest version keeps making these pop-up error messages appear. I can't figure out how to patch it. I probably could if I had better internet, but as it is, like every time I try to go download a patch, something happens and the download fails, and I'm just like, screw it. I'm happy that I managed to download the program to begin with. But I actually had to install a program whose purpose is to slow down the clock speed of your computer. Don't understand exactly how it works. And that allowed me to get past the rope puzzle because it slowed things down enough that if you click rapidly, like crazy, it will register before it closes out. You won't actually be able. You can't see the animation and where you're supposed to be going. You have to know what it is that you're supposed to do. There's 2 points like that. There's another point like that in the very, very end of the game. You have to do that because if you don't do it fast enough, the game ends negatively. But the whole screen where there's a dialogue is occurring, where the game is trying to trick you, there's no way for me to show you that. I can show you what happens if you click and what your death looks like, but the best I can do is describe the setup, and that's really sad to me because I think that's the absolute funniest for me part of the whole game is the one sequence that I'm not going to be able to show you. It's sad, but let's not dwell on it. Let's get back. I mean, we've got 2 more locations to go. My favorite scene in the game is gone, but there's plenty of other good stuff in this game, so if you're still watching, I hope I didn't turn you off of it too much. We're going to keep going. You're going to be able to see the ending scene. You're going to be able to see us win the game. There's one death I won't be able to show you the way that I wanted to. So instead of fretting about that, let us travel down the lava river through Beggar's Canyon with womp rats and see if we can't find a place. I'm thinking the element around here might be fire, folks. That's my guess. We are at, I think it's called the Steppinthrax Monastery. And that's how we get back to the place. Let's save our game in this slot where I accidentally saved in the middle of this place anyway. We've dealt with the water. We've dealt with getting pure whatever the element of water was. Was it mercury? C'est la mercury. Let's see. We got no, it's copper. Copper was the element of Lady Hamilton. We got iron, the element of non-Deckard Cain, General Cain. We still have to get tin, which is the element of Sartorius, who is the mysterious doctor, kind of the character we know the least about. But right now we've gone to the Steppinthrax Monastery, where Malvo, who is the father of Alexandria, that's where he applied his trade of monkery, and we have to get lead here. So let's get the lead out and get on with the quest. Alright, just for the convenience sake, I'm scrolling through a FAQ and finding heat and light transform the world. There's a reason you had to come out here, yes. It's this. It's a Zork coin that you need to collect. We now have this album that I'll never be able to get rid of, and a Zork coin. There doesn't appear to be a way to go up here. So if we come over here, we can climb the steps. You can't climb down over this way. You'd only climb back down to where you've been, and there's no reason to do that, so let's keep going up. And it looks like we are about to fall to our deaths because it dropped us off where there's no footholds, but this is the monastery. And if you recall from the video where I just read a bunch of text from the manual, this is some kind of sort of pseudo, it's like Zoroastrianism. It's their kind of making fun of Zoroastrianism, Zoroaster, whatever. It's just kind of an ancient monotheistic religion. I think vaguely has something to do with fire, but I might be confusing it with Zoroastrianism, which is obviously made up. Closed pending final exorcism. Entry is forbidden by order of the Grand Inquisitor. I didn't know the Grand Inquisitor was around yet. I saw an episode of Star Trek Enterprise. I've been watching geeky sci-fi stuff bought from the Haji Marts to kill time. I'm at the end of my tour, and I'm supposed to be in a winding down mode, but I'm not getting to work. I'm just kind of killing time. So the Grand Inquisitor from Zork Grand Inquisitor showed up as an alien on Star Trek Enterprise, and I was kind of amused by that. But anyway, it doesn't look like we're going to get in this way. There's that lava river. There's really nothing we can do here, though. And again, it looks like we're just like falling off the edge of the flat and safe area. Surely there's something we can do. Oh, we can jump through this hole. I don't really understand what happened there, but we got inside, so let's count our blessings. Donate now. Every Zork mid brings you prescience from the 6 gods of emotion. There must be a way to get back out, because if we didn't pick up the Zork mid, I think we're stuck here. Although, actually, I don't think you need the Zork mid to win this puzzle. It just helps. Condolences to the family of Father Goffman, who was banished after muttering in his sleep the forbidden words, "Hello, sailor." Condolences to the family of Father Mulligan, who was drawn and quartered for ringing the 7th tone to the great implementers out of order. Measures have been taken to prevent such tragic errors in the future. We welcome the Burton family, who has renounced the absurdities of the Brogmoid cult and accepted the wisdom of Zoroastrianism. It's a picture of some monks. Hey, we're the monks. People say we walk around. Congratulations to Elvira Flatman, who has won a free plot of land in a new development in the up-and-coming Valley of the Sparrows. That is probably a reference to a Zork game that I don't get. Anyway, folks, thank the implementers for this generosity of a man, and a curse on all your progeny for stealing from the church. Alright, so... Hey. Ooh! It's Jester from the Puppet Master franchise. Ooh! True fear is known only by the very quick and the very thick. An angry man is a righteous man. Boredom is perfect balance without purpose. The road to happiness is paved with good health. The hips curve, the arching spine, a heartbeat outside your own, in these lie absolution. To the eyes of suspicion, there can be no mistakes, only misdirection. Alright. Now, you can steal the Zorkmid back, but there's really no place else to use it, although you do get, I'm told, new rhymes, if you do, or not new rhymes, new cards. Fear is nothing except the fearlessness that comes when nothing is all that you have to lose. An angry man has no room for reason. If you wish to slow time, do nothing. Donations make a happy man. Within the touch of bodies we find ourselves. The suspicious man has closed his heart to unexpected gifts. Yeah. So you can look up here, but it just gets you in a situation where you need pan relief shut off to get back out, and I don't think there's any item that you get that way, so... Well, I'll give you guys a quick look at what it looks like, but... You get a nice view of this church, but we can't get back out, so let's just restore. Come up here, first puzzle of the area, heads. Hey. Symbols. I've been warned not to take the symbols you don't need because they'll clutter your inventory for the rest of the game. So the only symbols we'll need are the ones that we saw explanations for. This is the symbol for boredom. I don't know if these show up. If you don't get the Zorkmid coin and see that, I don't know if these show up because it made a little whoa magical sound. But otherwise, you don't have a certainty what symbol means what, but you can kind of guess. Ooh.
Well, you're hearing the implementers call.
Masts and runes mark the way!
Above and below the fiery towers.
Okay, so they have emotions associated with them. She was bored. He was angry. What was he, scared?
You're hearing the implementers call.
What they said didn't make a lot of sense to me, but never mind that for now.
Discovering time and determined.
Oh, come on! Ugh. Okay, well, we just saved. So, that's fine, I suppose. We just saved. We should be alright. We won't have very much left to do. It's actually a pretty good... I guess it was a good timing on that save. That's weird. That's the first time that the game has just crashed out on us right in the middle of some things. Certainly it crashes anytime I try to, like, alt-tab my way out of... you know, I was trying to alt-tab my way out of the game before to... when I wasn't even recording, just experimenting with, you know, how quickly can I deal with this whole pan relief issue. And alt-tabbing out of the game kills everything dead. You do not want to alt-tab out of this game. But we had done pretty well otherwise with it being stable. Anyway, bored, angry, afraid, and we'll try this again. I think he was...
Discovering time and eternity, nothing and all.
They call for secrets and hidden powers.
Sexy, I'm guessing, is spine, because it looks to me like there's buttocks in the picture. That really only leaves one thing for him, but let's...
The monk's long dead. Bells that play.
Yeah, I'm glad it told me he's suspicious, because I couldn't really tell from the way he talked. So that opened something. We'll never really know what now that I think about
Moss and runes mark the way!
The monk's long dead. Bells that play.
They call for secrets and hidden powers.
Above and below the fiery towers.
Well, you're hearing the implementer's call. Discovering time and eternity, nothing and all.
Now, not that I necessarily would have gotten it or have thought to make a note, but that was important. That they recite that at the end is important. I think we can get them to do it again.
Moss and runes mark the way!
The monk's long dead.
Because there's going to come a point later on where we get these same symbols of these emotions, and we're going to have to arrange them in the proper sequence, and the sequence is the order in which the different emotion head bust guys spoke when delivering that rhyme. Now, I think if we tried to go this way before it was blocked, I don't remember. But since I didn't bother to come out here and show you what was going on before we found that, or solved that little puzzle, I don't actually know exactly what it was that was unlocked. I'm not 100% positive what it is we can do now that we couldn't do before. My bad. So I got a picture of fire.
What are you doing here? Get out! This place is shut down.
Kind of a dumpy guy, aren't
There's
you?
evil here. Evil! There's demons everywhere.
There's a demon?
Upstairs. In the master's room.
The master doesn't like
Master's
children.
gone. Disappeared. And what of me? Who's left to protect me? If I hear one more demon bellow, I'll go mad.
Mad, I tell you, mad.
It's done. I'm mad.
I do not know, for I am mad. Okay, good. So he wasn't actually stopping us from going forward. He was just kind of loud. Neat little scene there, but normally when guys like that show up, I assume based on the woman in the conservatory who wants to and the vaguely Scottish, at least one-line read guy who prevents you from leaving Castle Irondune, I assume that they're just going to stop you. I guess not in this case. So what's going on here? Another cinema scene.
Endless fire which passes through all.
Hey, it's all of the alchemists.
Cleanse soul through flame. Protect the innocent and perfect the healing stone.
Let the spirit be washed and whitened by the philosophic fire.
So that's, I guess, all the alchemists are hanging out, baptizing babies together. I guess that baby was either Alexandria or Lucian. So we can wander around the corners of this place, but the only thing of any interest or import here is over here. This is surprising to me. Suddenly we're having all these issues. We've never had any issues like this before. I think I'm just going to have to try to get through this video as best I can and then reboot. Okay, so now we'll get a chance to find out what was new, because we're not going to solve that puzzle again until later. So we skip that. Go over here. In case this is important, I'll watch it again. Huh. Got another 10 minutes before I can call it a video, so I either toss this out, or let's come back and deal with that later. How does that sound? Yeah, let's come deal with that later. I don't know what the big flippin' deal is, but we're going to ignore that for now. Oh, this opens up. Alright. And that's pretty much what we want to look at next, if we can't go to that little room next. So if the game was really registering how much work all this took, it would be suspicious that I've gotten through this quite this easily.
Master!
Yeah. Hey. I thought there was a way to go over here. I'm just retarded because you have to come up here and then turn this corner, and then there's a way to go. I still think this is probably what it unlocks, though. So we have, yeah, there's like a lot of really nice background art in this game that doesn't actually figure into the story. It's just kind of there, looking cool. I'm pretty sure these are not real paintings or anything. They might be real. Well, I mean, real paintings that I don't think they're real classics from like an earlier age. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that area leads to crashing. Let's try coming over here. Brother Shane. Shane, come back, Shane. Mama wants you. Brother Andrew. And we can't actually do anything with it. This is mildly surprising to me. Why did it let us zoom in on it then? Brother Jeremy, Brother blah blah blah. Brother Gregory, but you can't actually read it. It's just showing you some scenes from their religion. Brother William. Brother Dave Sullivan! Okay, so there's a bunch of religious-y books that you can't actually read. They're just kind of decorative. But this one is Brother Malvo's, and we know he's like the plot dude. So let's open his book of St. York stuff.
This is an extraordinary day.
As befits my extraordinary trial. Now, it is time for us to begin.
The begin.
It's time for all this to finally end. What are you doing?
You're being arrested.
For what?
Leave him alone.
I'm not going anywhere.
Ooh!
Leave him alone. Listen.
Dang.
Why are you doing this? Father, help me.
Father, you've disappeared magically. What the fuck? Alright, so that looks like we already knew that Kane. General Kane is kind of an asshole, but it looks like he kind of messed up things for poor old Lucian as far as getting married to his sweetheart. So that sucks. These books here appear to be the tale of Yorick that we read in the manual. But let's go through it again. The merchant Yorick, himself a simple man, who was dissatisfied with his simple trade, his simple goods, his simple life, his simple gods, his simple life. Seeking only truth, he prayed to the implementers and heard nothing. Because he could find no door to the heavens, no portal to the plains of Artry, Yorick hid himself in a deep mountain cave and followed a demon down to the forking forks, curving curves, and labyrinthian labyrinths that led down to the underworld. The devil, Yorick reasoned, being the devil, would keep less exclusive company. When on the third day the earth beneath his feet began to glow red, hot with fire, and the stench of sulfur pierced the air, Yorick quite rightly assumed that he had reached the underworld. As the demon quickened his step, a broad stone door flung open, just for a moment, in the darkness. When the demon slipped past the doors, Yorick caught upon his cloak and was pulled inside, the stone clanging shut just behind him. The air was so thick with black smoke that the devil, Yorick reasoned, could not be far off. But in his path, demons of all sorts, larger and smaller, lesser and greater, wily and woolly, headed, pleasant and not, thronged towards the most immense demon of all. This demon, surrounded by a great ring of infernal fire, stood between all hell and the Lord of Lamentation himself. As Yorick's demon, a lesser melancholy sort, approached the great demon of the threshold, he drew from his side a bronze shield and hurried past the ring of fire untouched. But Yorick let go of the demon's cloak with a yelp and fell to the ground. O ye with the faith of a hungus! Miraculously, as a number of demons stopped to heckle in anticipation of Yorick's fiery death, Yorick saw his chance. He plucked a like bronze shield, studded with 5 brilliant red rubies, from the side of a careless demon, and plunged his way to the ring of fire. When the flames touched his shield, they fell to the side, dissipating into pungent black smoke. Yorick, armed only with the simple blade of a simple merchant, slew the great demon of the threshold in a surprise, and made his way down to the devil, who, reasonably amused, taught Yorick the great mysteries of the cosmos. That story was in the manual. And I guess it's going to be involved with the puzzle here. I don't really remember having used this information, really. And here we come to a locked area. And this is a puzzle that can only be solved using what we find when we can successfully examine that grate in that one room without the game crashing. So we're kind of stuck here now. So I guess what we'll do is we'll head over there and we'll take one more look at that grate and see if we can examine it without crashing the game. And if we can't, we'll probably just have to call it a video. So let us save our game. Let us talk to this deeply amusing guy. Let us check that thing out again. Let's save the game again, because why not? And let's examine the grate. Let's examine Great Khan! Creek. Creek. Well, this time it's letting us go. Open. Push on the glyphs. And then it has little symbols. What you'll notice here is that the symbols correspond correctly to the number of letters in the words push on the glyphs. So you don't actually need to put in all of these symbols. We see that the O in on is an infinity sign. The P in push and the P in glyphs, this is significant, are this kind of, I don't know what you want to call that, like a trident symbol with a little circle at the top. The E in the is like a snaky, squiggly thing. And the N in on is freaking alien. It's like an ankh with hair and a little smiley face inside. And the P in push and glyphs are really the only letter that shows up twice, which is, that's really where you can confirm that, yeah, this is actually all these letters are being translated, and what we want are to use these to spell out just the word open. Okay? Got that? Good. Because you can certainly waste a lot of time trying to key in all of the glyphs in the phrase push on the glyphs, and that's not going to do anything for you. You need to spell out the word open. So I'll take a quick look at where I put down, or sorry, where the walkthrough has spelled this out. I figured this one out on my own, but the walkthrough makes it simple for you. Infinity sign, the little trident symbol. They call it a curvy backwards E. I called it a snake. And then they call it a circle with 6 dots and a cross at the bottom. I called it an ankh with a smiley face and hair. Either way, that will open the door. There was a door somewhere. No, it's over there. Is it? Padlock opened on its own, and down we come.
Thanks to industrial strength magic, all objects are protected from theft.
Well, that sounds interesting. But it's an interesting thing we're going to have to check out in the next video. So I might just
Thanks to industrial strength magic,
I just
all
get
objects
interrupted.
are protected from theft.
I might just get interrupted by the computer. I might just shut this thing off anyway, even though it hasn't crashed for a while. Just reboot to make sure that the next video goes smoothly. At any rate, this has been the Mysterious JG. I want to apologize for getting all upset about things that we haven't even come across yet, problems we haven't even seen yet in the LP that we're going to be seeing with clock speeds being too fast for us to see at least one relatively significant and funny sequence. But we're pressing on, and we're going to, probably within the next video or two, defeat the Fire Monastery place and retrieve one more element and be one step closer to releasing the Alchemist from their prison so that they can make up for... I mean, this is what I'm getting at Cain. He wants to make up for what he did before by bringing Lucian and Alexandria, both victims of Nemesis, back to life. So if we're going to help the Alchemists redeem themselves, we need to get some elements going. So let's do it. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.